remember about it? How'd you do? Whatever.
My first game as a head coach, we played Highland at Highland, and what I remember most about it is probably just being disorganized. I thought I had everything figured out. I knew exactly what we were going to do, had everything, all the plays scripted. When the game started, nothing went as I had planned, and really it was kind of just a mess until the second half. But it was a hot game, obviously the first game of the year, and we had, I think, of the 11 offensive starters, at one point we had 5 kids cramp up, and being a first-year head coach at a small school, numbers weren't great. I think we had 21 or 22 kids out. So at that point, when all those kids cramped up, I believe we had, every freshman on the field, and no one knew what was going on. But we started there, and we've been able to build upon that game, and I hope not to feel that disorganization ever again.
Speaking about kids and numbers, you don't have a lot of people to choose from, but you keep getting them out every year. You walk the hallways, whoever you want. People want to play football for this school, don't they? They want to be part of this program, don't they?
Knox County has a great population of kids to choose from. Just talented kids in the classroom, on the football field, basketball, wherever it may be. We always have kids that have a passion for excellence, and that makes coaching really easy. Whenever we go out there, maybe you only have 25 to 30 kids out there year in, year out, but the ones out there are going to be committed to doing their best each and every day. We always talk about how championships are built at practice, and if you practice like a champion, then when you go on the field, it's easy, and that pretty much sums up what the kids at our school are all about.
You start with Schuyler County on Friday nights. Your team is, I think you teams are a lot alike, really, with what you do, what you try to do. Should be a good matchup, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of funny going to a new conference, and our first game of the year is against a foe I've played every year since I've been a head coach, and sometimes twice. So it's a familiar opponent, but it is an opponent that has the same idea of football that we do. They like to run the ball, and once the running game's going, they'll play action over the top and get some other positions involved. And we're very similar to that. Now, how we try to accomplish it, it's a little bit different. We're more of a speed type of team that goes side to side. They're more set up the middle. So two teams that have the same philosophy. It should be a good matchup, and it should be a fun game because of the physicality between the two teams.
What do you think about the new conference?
I'm excited about the new conference. Obviously, I like the Tri-Rivers Conference, and unfortunately I had to disband. The Lewis and Clark is a good fit for us. We've played 4 of the teams that we're currently playing the past 4 years, so we just had to add 3 new teams in West Strand and the other Salisbury. Yeah, so a little bit different, but it's going to be an opportunity for us to play the best of the best in 1A football. Marceline, year in, year out, it's going to be one of those top teams, as well as West Strand and the other teams that were able to make it into the playoffs. So it should prepare us for our first round district game when we get to it.
Everybody probably wants to talk about your offense because of what you do, but I'm going to start with your defense because every year, you look at these numbers when they come in, it's 0-7, it's 10, it's not, they don't score a lot of points. Talk about your defense this year, and they're strong, aren't they?
Yeah, defensively, I'm probably more excited than our offense this year. At the Jamboree, that was probably our strong point, was the defensive side of the ball, and it's just built upon the athleticism we do have. We graduated all 4 of our defensive linemen from last year, but we do return the back 7, and they're all fast kids. 5 all-state kids are in that group, and when you have that type of speed, you're able to get a lot of hats to the football. And whenever you get a lot of hats to the football, fumbles occur, interceptions happen, and a lot of tackles for loss and sacks. So that's what we're all about, is creating big plays on the defensive side of the ball, and with the speed and athleticism we have, we're going to be able to do some great things.
Does that allow you maybe to put more pass rush on them and take some chances that way because you have guys in the back that can cover it up?
That's exactly right. We like to take chances and gamble on defense a little bit just because of the ability the kids and the safeties and the cornerbacks do have. And it makes things a lot easier for the defense line because they're going to be 4 new kids, and they're going to have to focus on taking care of their responsibility, and that's it. They don't have to make a big play. They can go out there and just do the small things correctly, and I think they're going to be very successful.
A lot of these guys who are on your defense, they will also play offense. But don't you think it's good to play both ways? That way it keeps you in the game.
Right, and I also played at a school that most kids played both ways, and I think that it just gives you the ability to stay warm for one, and also just be more a part of the team. Whenever whenever you get to those bigger schools, a lot of times they go one way, and there's a lot of division within the team. Whenever you're playing both ways, the offense isn't playing the defense. It's Knox County playing Knox County, and it's just one big group. And I think that goes a long way in just your camaraderie and things like that.
Talk about your offense. Boy, you guys got a lot of people back, a lot of skill positions, a lot of people that make things happen. They all have a lot of experience. First, talk to me about the experience and how much that just helps.
We have great experience in all of our skill spots. Hayden Miller, all-district receiver for us, is coming back. Nick Edwards is all-district quarterback for us. Both those two are our record holders, one for passing for touchdowns and then Hayden for receiving touchdowns in a season. So returning those two is huge. And we also have a lot of kids that have experience that weren't really talked about because of the depth we had last year. Hunter Clucky's going to fill in our fullback role. Lane Couch is going to fill in for wing, and Noah Talton, who last year was his first year playing football, was able to do some good things. But with another year of organized football under his belt in year two, it's just what I've seen so far is his aggression and his confidence grow. That I think he's going to have a really big year.
You guys like to pick people apart. It's your little chess match. They take that away. You take your long passes away. You throw them short, use the speed, and go. And that's worked, hasn't it?
Yeah. Offensively, when you're playing a game, a defense tries to take something away, and it might take us a little while, but we always look to see what they're trying to take away and what they're giving us, and oftentimes they're trying to make us throw over the top. With the experience at quarterback with Nick, and actually Garen Miller is playing a little quarterback for us also, it gives us a good option whenever we do that because of the great receivers and good quarterback play that we have.
Let's get a little specific. Edwards, what does he give you then?
Nick Edwards is just it's a good leader. He's a steady competitor. He's a good leader, and he does everything exactly right. I call it pass play, and it's like he and I are thinking the exact same thing because he always makes the correct decision. And I know even if it's 3rd and 1, and most people would go right up the middle, if I were to call pass play, he would take for sure 3 yards and get a first down. And so he just makes good decisions and puts us in a place where we're going to be successful.
Clucky, tough kid, could probably play in any era, huh?
Right, Hunter Clucky is a tough kid. I mean, doesn't really care a whole lot about stats or anything like that. He's more worried about winning games and being part of the team. And he's kind of sacrificed his role as an offensive player last year, being more of a lead blocker and a change of pace back for Andrew Hodge. And this year, I think he'll be a focal point of our offense, and he'll get his due with the media and all that stuff. But he doesn't care because he's just worried about the team and winning.
Talk to me about your receivers, and you've got 2 good receivers, so you can really keep teams honest, can't you?
Right. Hayden Miller would be our top returning receiver with reference to receiving yards and touchdowns, and he's just a skilled kid. He's played quarterback for us. He's played receiver. He's played tight end, played running back. Whatever it is we need him to do, he can do it. And I think he had 2 passing touchdowns off of halfback passes that were big plays for us in big games, and he's also caught and rushed for a bunch of touchdowns. So just having that ability in a kid and the versatility within him to move him around is a huge asset for us.
A lot of your guys have played different positions over the time. It's not like they're starting here and they're going to play that for 3 years. You've mixed people up and changed people, haven't you?
You have to have versatility at a small school, and I've learned that early, that you never know what's going to happen in a game with cramps or injuries or whatever it may be. People are going to have to come out eventually, and you're going to have a quality backup. So a lot of times we don't want to play our freshmen if we don't have to, so we'll have a receiver that'll be the backup quarterback as well as maybe a guard. It doesn't really matter. They're out there. If they're football players, each of us work on blocking and tackling every day, so if they can do those things, they can play about anywhere on our offense or defense.
Let's go back to Mowbray. What's he playing? Where's he playing now?
Right guard, middle linebacker.
Okay. Great linebacker.
Yes.
Great linebacker. Let's talk about that. But he's played another guy played a lot of different positions. Let's talk about his linebacker play. He's just solid, isn't he?
Yeah, he's kind of a throwback type of player too. Very physical. I was probably the most impressed I was with him was last year against South Shelby, big run team, very powerful. He was able to take on their fullback time and time again and didn't say anything as a sophomore. So we're expecting more of the same out of him, being that middle linebacker for us, being just a consistent leader. He's not a guy that's going to hoot and holler a whole lot, but he's going to do the things that we want our other players to emulate, and he's a leader by example, and we're excited to have him. He's only a junior. It's great to have him for another year, but he's definitely going to be a consistent contributor both on the offense and the defense. Well, with Brody, his brother played, and then it was straight into another one. Yep.
Has Coach Summers got over the South Shelby game yet?
No.
I know he hasn't, has he?
No.
I can still hear him
Yep.
yelling on the sideline. How are you a better coach now than when you first started?
I've improved as a coach just by planning. You always have to have plan A, plan B, plan C, all the way. You have to have about 6 or 7 different plans to be successful. Early on in my career, I had, here's what we're going to do. If it doesn't work, I guess we'll lose. But now we have a plan. If it doesn't work, we have an alternative plan. If that doesn't work, we'll do something else. But you always try to find a solution to a problem. Small schools especially, you never know what injuries are going to occur or what the other defense is going to do. So you always have to be prepared for everything.
You've had your staff together for a while. How important is that?
I was thinking about this past summer. My assistant coaches have more experience than most head coaches have, and that is a huge asset. I can pass off our defense to Coach Summers and our special teams to Coach Fenoy and our offensive line with Coach Fenoy, and I don't have to worry about it. And that's huge for me, just be able to plan first the team vision, then the offensive game plan. I don't really have to worry about those things because they're taken care of, and that in itself is huge, just to be able to do that and not have to worry about that responsibility.